Want to create insane Minecraft time lapses and cinematic clips just like these? You're in the right place, because today I'm breaking it all down step by step, starting from absolute zero. This tutorial is perfect for beginners, so even if you've never done this before, don't worry, you're about to level up your skills fast. Let's dive straight in. I personally use the replay mod. You'll find a link in the description to my full installation tutorial, so feel free to check that out. But for now, let's jump straight into how to use the mod and start recording your first clip. Once you open the game, here we are, open the menu. At the bottom, you'll see Start Recording. Just click it. Then simply move around depending on what you want to film. Maybe a build, a landscape, anything. Once you're done, click Stop Recording. There's also a pause button if you need it. After stopping the recording, you'll exit, and in the top right corner, you'll see Saving Replay File. When that finishes, click Done. Now look where my cursor is. There's the Replay Viewer. Click on it and load the clip you just recorded. The screen that opens should look like this. Important, sometimes the interface doesn't appear. These two bars might be missing. If that happens, just press Q on your keyboard. Here are some basic controls you'll need. P to pause the video. C to clear all keyframes. We'll talk about keyframes in a moment. I to add a position keyframe. O to add a time keyframe. Another important thing to know is how to switch between the two main control modes. The mode where you freely fly around with the camera, just like creative mode, and the mode where you move the on-screen cursor. To switch between these modes, you'll use T and E on your keyboard. Press T to toggle the cursor on and E to move the camera. Cursor on means you can collect the interface. Cursor off puts you back into the free camera mode so you can move around normally and set your shots. Now, let's start creating our clip. On both timelines, make sure your playhead is placed at 0, 0, so we can clearly see how the movement begins and decide what final effect we want. To start the clip, simply place the playhead at 0, 0, and now we can begin adding keyframes. There are different types of keyframes, as we mentioned earlier. The first one is the time keyframe. What does a time keyframe do? It basically tells the mod when the video starts and when it ends. So at the very beginning of the clip, we're going to add both a position keyframe and a time keyframe. This is because we want the camera to have a defined starting position at the exact moment the video begins. In this example, it won't be the most beautiful shot, but it's just to show you how it works. Now let's say that at this moment, at second 4, we want the camera to be in this exact position. What do? We simply add a positional keyframe right here. By doing this, the camera will move from point A, which is your first position keyframe, to point B at second 4, using the speed you've selected in the top left corner. In this case, it's set to normal speed. When you want to end your clip, you simply place 2 more keyframes, one time keyframe and one position keyframe. This way, the mod knows where the camera should finish and when it should get there. From here, you can preview the entire camera path. And as you just saw, because I didn't move the camera between the second and the third position keyframe, the camera didn't move at all during that part. It stayed still because both keyframes shared the exact same position. And because of this setting here, the default interpolator set it on linear interpolator. From here, you can also enable or disable several things, such as the automatic recording, show chat, or the style of the camera. Fortunately, you can also change your shader directly from the replay viewer. The process is exactly the same as always, so don't worry, nothing changes here. If you see this warning pop up, it's simply because on the lower timeline, the playhead isn't set to 0, 0, 0. Just move it back to the start and the warning will disappear. Now let's create a static clip, meaning a clip with no movement. To do that, you just place 2 position keyframes without moving the camera between them. Since both keyframes share the same position, the camera won't move at all. Once that's done, we can render the video. Here you can choose the resolution, the frame rate, and the output folder for your final clips. Personally, I save mine in App Data inside the T-Launcher folder under Replay Videos. Here are a few more useful keys you might want to remember. K resets the camera to its default position. L and J rotate the camera right or left. B switches to the player's POV so you can see the world exactly from the character's perspective. To exit the player's POV and go back to the free camera, simply press Shift. Now let's talk about something really important, the interpolation type, linear, Cubic Spline, and Catmull-Rom Spline. These basically tell the mod how the camera moves between your keyframes. Here's the easiest way to understand them. Linear, straight and simple. Linear means the camera moves in a perfectly straight line from one keyframe to the next. No curves, no smoothing, just point A to point B at a constant speed. It's simple and predictable, but the movement can feel a bit robotic. Cubic Spline, smooth and soft curves. Cubic Spline creates a much smoother movement. Instead of a straight line, the camera follows a soft, curved path between keyframes. It feels more cinematic, but sometimes too soft if your keyframes are far apart. It can overshoot or create weird bends. Catmull-Rom Spline, controlled cinematic curves. Catmull-Rom is like an improved version of Cubic Spline. It gives you smooth curves, but with more control. The camera stays closer to the keyframes and doesn't overshoot or take strange detours. Think of it as smooth like Cubic Spline, but predictable like linear. Static shots can be a bit tricky. If you have Catmull-Rom or Cubic Spline enabled, the mod will introduce camera movement even when you haven't moved the camera at all. This can cause unwanted clipping or awkward motion in your shots. Let me give you a quick example to make it clearer. Suppose you want a perfectly static top-down shot, and afterwards you want to continue the time-lapse with a smooth, curved camera path using a different angle. Unfortunately, the only reliable way to do this is to render the 2 segments separately. First, render the top-down shot with linear as the selected interpolator. Then render the rest using whichever interpolator you prefer between Catmull-Rom or Cubic Spline. After that, simply combine the 2 clips during editing. And that's it for today's video. For small channels like mine, your support really makes a huge difference. Every like, comment, and subscription genuinely helps me keep creating. I put a lot of time into making these videos, and I've been working hard to improve the editing and overall quality, so I really hope you notice the progress. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.